All right, what is going on, guys? Today we are doing a little bit of a TikTok video here. In fact, this could be the TikTok video. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, recently, everybody's favorite app, TikTok, was questioned by the United States Congress. Now, that sounds kind of weird. And it was quite the fucking experience. Now, the reason behind this is because, obviously the United States Congress believes that TikTok is in violation of stealing user data and just, shit like that and being unsafe, blah, 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 blah. They want to ban it, right? Now, quite frankly, I don't give a shit. I'm not the biggest user of TikTok. I feel like I've been pretty, open about that on the channel. I really just use it for videos, so it would kind of suck dick if it did get banned because, I wouldn't be able to, make videos on it anymore, which would be unfortunate. But, they recently questioned him and, he did pretty good, the CEO of TikTok, or at least I believe he was the CEO of TikTok. I don't know. He could be like somewhere else, but definitely a huge higher up at TikTok. And it was pretty interesting. There were some funny fucking moments because everybody in the United States Congress, well, actually not everybody, but most of them are way too old and way too out of touch with how the world works today. So we got some funny moments. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these because I think you guys are really going to enjoy them.
Does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Okay, I'd appreciate it if you could answer that.
So for this first one, we have a congressman coming straight out of the best place in the world, North Carolina. Not actually. I've never fucking been to North Carolina, so I have no idea how it is over there. But he's here. I can't imagine it's that great based on what this guy says, but we'll get to that. So obviously he's sitting there and he's questioning him and he says, will TikTok access the home Wi-Fi? Now, I just want you to sit there and think about it. Now, chances are if you're watching this video, you're probably in the age range of, I don't know, maybe like your late teen to your early to mid 20s, right? You're probably in that demographic, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But, so you have definitely been around the internet for most of your life. And to you, hearing, oh, TikTok has to connect to the home Wi-Fi, yeah, no shit, it has to go on the fucking internet or else it won't work. And that was my thought here. And I believe that the CEO of TikTok, that's just what we're going to be referring to him. I don't know if that's his actual title, but that is what we're referring to him as, at least for the sake of this video. He went ahead and, kind of had this, he was like, what does that exactly mean? He was like, not out of the ordinary, a lot of things have to access the internet or have to access the Wi-Fi for the internet to work on them. So, that was kind of that. And this one just really set the scene for me. This was the first one that I saw that kind of inspired me to make this video. This just really set the scene for how out of touch these Congress people are when it comes to, social media. Now, we've seen this before with like Mark Zuckerberg, for example, and I do think it's generally a good thing, right, that they're coming in and questioning these huge companies because they do shady things. It's, it's no shock that a lot of your data does get sold and shit online, but it's not really as personal as a lot of people, I think, really believe that it is. It's more just like they sell demographics. So, like for me, for example, they see, oh, it's a male that's, you know, in the, I don't fucking know, the 18 to 25-year-old age group who lives in this location. You know, like, it's not necessarily like giving out all my fucking personal information. It does sometimes, like your email and maybe your phone number and shit, but it's not really as like specific as I think a lot of people think. And they did this with Facebook too. Facebook made it out. It was okay. And now TikTok's in the fucking, you know, in the fire. So I don't know, but yeah, it just really shows how out of touch these people are with like how the internet works. You know, like they need like their grandkid or something there to like be like, oh, hey, like pop, that's not actually how that works. It has to connect to the one, like, you know, like they need something like that there for this to have worked out better. But we're going to keep moving forward.
Well, and as was pointed out by Chairwoman Rogers, you have regular contact with Chinese Communist Party Secretary, Mr. Zhang Fuping, who is your boss at ByteDance, correct?
No,
No.
no. He's
Interesting.
neither my boss, nor do we have frequent contact.
But you have regular contact with ByteDance,
With the CEO of ByteDance.
who is Mr. Zhang Fuping is the
He's not.
editor-in-chief.
He's not the
My
CEO.
colleague, Representative Burgess, a few minutes ago exposed that TikTok and ByteDance share legal teams. You confirmed this, correct?
Our general counsel is
Yes.
an
Yes or
American lawyer,
Yes.
veteran of Microsoft.
Also, my
many years.
colleague, Representative Latta, confirmed that your parent company, ByteDance, currently can access user data. Yes?
We have to be more
Yes.
specific.
Yes.
After
You
Project
say-
Texas, no.
I'm not asking after Project Texas, I'm asking now. Yes.
Some user data is public data, Congresswoman, which
So
means
you confirm
everybody
that.
can search
What's
for it on the
interesting to
internet.
me is that you have used the word transparency over
Okay, so this next one, we have this beautiful young woman from Florida. And when I say that, I could not be any more sarcastic. But yeah, she's here and she's, you know, questioning our boy up in the hot seat. And, you know, he's like, you know, no, that's not true. I'm not in contact with that dude who's part of the CCP, which the CCP has its own issues. I'm not going to get into like this big geopolitical issue. But, you know, the CCP, you know, it's got its own problems that definitely America, the American government, does not like in the slightest. So yeah, you know, that's that. And she's being really forthcoming with this. I mean, asking probably some of the most loaded questions you could ever like hear. She's like, so this dude, the CEO of ByteDance, you talk to him regularly? And he's like, no, I don't. She's like, oh, really? Well, like, I don't know. She's really grilling this dude, and it feels like really the only right answer he could have gave was yeah, but like if that's not true, why would you say that? Also, to put this into perspective a little bit, ByteDance is an absolutely massive company in China that holds stake or at least ownership of way more things than you probably realize. In fact, a lot of the apps that you use, probably ByteDance is there for at least a couple of them. So it's kind of like, you know, it's really weird to come after this because they are incorporated in so many other apps. You know, it's not like they just have these ties to TikTok. They have these ties to a ton of apps, a ton of video games, a ton of stuff online, because it's the internet and it doesn't really have, you know, borders when it comes to things. So this is why apps that could be made in China or places like that can do so well, even in the United States. But yeah, overall, I think he did a pretty good job of like deflecting this shit. I don't really know what else he could have said. She was being pretty fucking aggressive there, and this is just one clip. I know that she really grills him. Like, she is one of the more heavy hitting, you know, people who just really drills into this dude. But yeah, I don't know what else he could have said there. I mean, obviously, I don't know 100% how truthful he's being or whatever, but he did kind of give off the demeanor that he wasn't really trying to hide anything, you know, like he he just seemed like he was kind of going in and answering questions, you know, to the best of his ability. But I don't know. We're going to move on to the next one.
What you think would be the appropriate age to have a child get on TikTok?
Our approach is to give differentiated experiences for different age groups and let the parents have these conversations with their children to decide what's best for their family.
So you think that there is a sufficient safety mechanism for an 8-year-old to be able to access TikTok?
An 8-year-old's experience on TikTok will be so highly restricted that every single piece of content he or she will see will be vetted by Common Sense, our third-party child safety expert, and the 8-year-old will not be able to post, and the 8-year-old will not be able to see any personalized feed and zero advertising in that experience. So I believe, yes, it is the appropriate experience for an 8-year-old.
Well, then why don't you let your 8-year-old child on TikTok?
I have seen these news articles. I would like to address that. My kids live in Singapore, and in Singapore, we do not have the under 13 experience. If they lived here in the United States, I'll let them use the under 13 experience.
So then he gets grilled on how well he protects younger children on social media. Well, now this is this is a much bigger issue overall. This is not just like TikTok specific. For example, YouTube has run into a lot of issues with this. This is why if you're a YouTube creator, you see things such as, is this video made for kids? Stuff like that, because there's a lot of weird things that are in place to, protect children that doesn't really apply to adults or even older teenagers. But for younger teenagers and younger children in general, there are a lot of things in place that are more specific to the United States, but I'm sure that they have them in other countries too, that are there to protect children from advertising and from graphic content and, just stuff like that, stuff that maybe a parent wouldn't want their kids seeing and being exposed to. And now his answer, to be fair, is kind of what I would say. I think that it is really down to the parents and the families to watch their children and, decide what's best for them. It is kind of up to them to say, hey, you're too young, I don't want you on TikTok, or, okay, you can go on TikTok. For me personally, I don't really like a lot of little kids going onto social media because I was that little kid going onto social media, and it does have effects. It can skew perceptions of things. It can kind of instill some negative values sometimes that aren't great. And obviously, I've done a lot to kind of help correct this stuff because also through online. So I maybe who the fuck do I I don't know. Yeah, I turned out all right, but I don't know. It really is up to the people in specific. And then they ask about his children and if they use TikTok or why don't they use TikTok or whatever. And he's like, oh, I've seen shit about this. My kids can't because I live in Singapore and that's not possible because that's not how TikTok operates there. Which is another interesting fact because I think a lot of people, including a lot of the Congress people who were interviewing this guy and questioning him, did think that he was Chinese or had like heavy tie-ins with China. And while he does definitely have like some tie-ins for sure, it was surprising to me at least that he is from Singapore and he is Singaporean and not Chinese. And I think that it took a little longer than I took for the Congress people to get that into their head that, oh shit, he's not from China, or at least he doesn't live in China. So like, I don't know. Moving on to the next one though.
There are more than 150 million Americans who love our platform, and we know we have a responsibility to protect them. Which is why I'm making the following commitments to you and to all our users. Number one, we will keep safety, particularly for teenagers, as a top priority for us. Number two, we will firewall protected US data from unwanted foreign access. Number three, TikTok will remain a place for free expression and will not be manipulated by any government. And fourth, we will be transparent and we will give access to third-party independent monitors to remain accountable for our commitments.
So obviously, I don't know if this was like a closing statement or an opening statement. I don't know what the fuck this was, but it was one statement made by him. And I mean, if he does what he's saying here, and if that's what TikTok does, and that's the direction that TikTok goes in or continues to go in, I don't see any issue. You know, to me, it feels like Congress is really out of touch with the general public on this issue in specific. Because, you know, there's so many fucking Americans who use TikTok. I mean, I think it would be easier to walk out into the street and find, you know, 50 people who use TikTok or have heard of TikTok before you find, you know, maybe 10 people who don't use TikTok. Like, there's almost everybody uses TikTok, right? It's so widespread, especially in America, that it's like a no-brainer. I think that they said like 150 million Americans or something use TikTok, and that's a fucking big amount of people. You know, that's not like some tiny little portion of the country. That's a lot of people. So yeah, you know, I think that Congress is out of touch. I think what he's saying is really all a social media company can offer. You know, I mean, I don't know what else you could do as a social media company besides say, we're going to put our best efforts into protecting, you know, U.S. data and protecting children and stuff like that on the app. Because what else can you do besides say, oh yeah, nobody can use it in the United States, which would be kind of rough. It would be kind of brutal, and I don't think a lot of people would be happy about that, which is kind of ironic given that the United States government is supposed to be by the people for the people. You know, if they did some shit like that, it's not really it's not adding up completely. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that this was kind of funny. It was an interesting little topic, and you know, I feel like I actually offered some like decent points in this. It wasn't just like a complete joke, but there were obviously some funny fucking reactions from the Congress people. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. This could be the last TikTok video. No, not actually. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like button as well as hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it so much. The channel's been growing like crazy recently. It's been super uplifting to see. I'm like thrilled about it. So thank you guys so much for all of that. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.